Just before I came on air here, I got a little bit of interesting news. So Drew, who's awesome, by the way, this is the guy who does the Secular Talk cartoons. He kind of does, it's almost like a South Park-like version of Secular Talk, and he does these funny, like, little sketches with the cartoons. So subscribe to his channel if you haven't yet. He really does a great job. And he doesn't only do that, he does all types of animation, and he's very talented. But anyway, Drew tweeted at me that apparently The Late Show stole a joke I made the other day on Twitter that went viral. So I said, there was this video that came out. It said, breaking, President Trump has abruptly left a White House briefing after receiving some kind of urgent update from an official. And I was joking around and I said, sir, the McRib is back. Like he's leaving because they say the McRib is back. The real reason he left, by the way, was because there was a shooting outside the White House. Whatever kind of shooting it was, it wasn't like, somebody was attempting to do a coup and overtake the White House or whatever. It was a shooting, and everything appears to be under control now. But The Late Show stole it, man. The Late Show stole it. They took my McRib joke. So that does annoy me just a little bit. Now, there were apparently this, this was on, like, Insta, and it went a bunch of places, Reddit, but in all those other instances, people just showed my tweet. So, that's giving full credit. So, there's obviously zero problem with that. But they stole the joke. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? Like, I'm a little bit surprised. Like, so, it's got to be that one of the writers for The Late Show follows my Twitter account or something, and just willy-nilly jacks stuff, so here we are. But anyway, that's one interesting little story. Now, the other thing, which I learned about last night, and this one, I don't know my exact feelings on this. I feel like I have mixed feelings on it, but apparently, according to Dave Weigel, he says that there was an RNC email tonight that was titled, Liberals Revolt Against a Biden-Harris Ticket. And it quotes the following people. It quotes Brianna Joy Gray, Walker Bragman, Michael Tracy, Jordan Chariton, and Kyle Kulinski. So they took, some of my initial, statements when I learned about Kamala officially being declared VP, and they had it in the RNC email. And as well as there was also a Fox News article that had, tweets from me and tweets from Crystal Ball and tweets from other somewhat known lefties. And, what they're trying to do is trying to exploit the rift in the Democratic Party. Exploit the rift of the left versus the center. And so they will try to play that up as much as humanly possible. Now, I'm well aware of that dynamic, and I'm well aware that they're doing this cynically, but just understand they ignore all the criticisms that the left has of them. Like, they're more than happy to quote me if I'm bashing corporate Democrats, but of course they would never quote me or acknowledge me or anything when I'm going after Republicans, which I probably do a majority of the time. Go after their dear leader, Donald Trump, or, Mitch McConnell, or any of them. So, it is kind of annoying when I say so much stuff about so many different characters on the political scene, and the only time that they're interested in what I have to say is when they could use it to try to exploit a rift. And it's just really obnoxious, It's like what we say about Noam Chomsky, how Noam Chomsky says things that are really interesting all the time about how, like, the United States is the number one terrorist nation on the planet. If the Nuremberg laws were upheld, every post-World War II president would be hanged. He said so many, like, interesting, profound things, and the only time they quote him is when he's like, I think you should vote for Joe Biden. Like, they just water down everything about it, and I feel like it's a similar thing. They use people like me to try to attack Kamala and Biden, but they ignore all the things I say about them, which is just really obnoxious. Now, by the way, what did I say about Kamala? They quoted things that were rather banal. Like, one of the things I said is, Joe Biden went with the strategically brilliant move of picking somebody who's despised by both the right and the left. Apparently, the Republicans really like that quote, and Fox News really liked that quote, and the RNC really liked that quote, and they're running with it. But I find it funny that was like the most tame of everything I said, and that's the one that seems to be shown in most places. But there are other things I said too, like now remember, if you're against Kamala laughing at legal weed Harris and, protector of Steve Mnuchin, it's because you're a racist. So, because this is what's going to happen. We already know this is what's going to happen. They're going to accuse everybody who goes after Kamala, even if it's from a left-wing position and even if it's policy-focused, they're going to accuse you of being sexist or racist or both, because it's so easy to cynically weaponize identity to bat away criticism over unrelated issues. So, anyway, can't say I'm surprised that the RNC would do such a thing, but I am a little bit surprised. Like, who that's in the top of the RNC is following my Twitter account? Who's like, somebody who's making these executive decisions in the Republican Party is keeping tabs on secular talk. It just strikes me as rather weird.